So imagine trying to make a ham sandwich and you slice your finger off, or you go to take a bite of that ham sandwich because it has some good savory melted cheese and you slice your tongue off and you're spitting up and gurgling. Yeah, the word that we can't use on here starts with or ends red, a red word. Yeah. Anyway, Biloxi, Mississippi. You start the beginning of any joke with the state of Mississippi. I know that. But I've been to Biloxi, Mississippi. I've actually spent a lot of time in Biloxi, Mississippi. Me and my wife, we love vacationing in Mississippi. The beaches in Mississippi are relaxed. It's cool. It's chill. There's a lot of different things to do. Mississippi may get a bad rap, but I think Mississippi is an awesome state. And beside Louisiana, hey, I'd live in Mississippi. It's one of the probably half dozen states that I would move to. But I'm also from the South, so it makes sense to me. Anyway, back to Mississippi Wal-Mart. Oh, there we go. Mississippi and Wal-Mart in the same joke. No, it's not a joke. This is a real story. And this savage, this woman, forget about all my toys on the side. This woman right here, she did the most savage thing unthinkable. She put razor blades and loaves of bread. That's right. Bam. Here's a picture of the loaf of bread. Look at that razor blade in there. Imagine, making sandwiches for your kids to go to school so they could eat before recess. And you hear the school give you a phone call and they all sliced up because they ate a piece of bread that had a razor blade in it because this savage, her again, the savage, she put a razor inside the bread just because I don't even know why. I'm to the point, the world has become so massively insane and we have become so massively insane with defending insane people. We forget about victims. Victims don't mean nothing anymore. The only way a victim means something is if they put pistols in the stomachs of pregnant women, then they'll get a statue. That's the only way. But other than that, hey, victims don't mean crap. But anyway, forget the fact that a kid could have sliced his freaking cheeks to pieces or swallowed it and sliced his intestines to pieces. Yeah, that doesn't matter. We don't talk about what ifs. I don't know what her intent was, but that's what she did. So now Walmart had to recall all kind of bread. Wait, the story gets even crazier. The Biloxi, Mississippi Walmart had multiple complaints of razor blades that were found in banana nut bread. That's right. I like banana nut bread. So this savage was on an intent to ruin people's Christmases. Because listen, the only time that they really sell banana nut bread and seasonal pumpkin breads and spice breads is during Christmas. So she was walking around into this, and she did it to more than one Walmart. I'm under the assumption of she went to multiple Walmarts and put multiple razor blades. She had to take the time to go get the razor blades. We talking about the type of razor blades that you get your fade up with while you're in prison. You know what I mean? They take them out, the Schick and Gillette blade, and it's just a blade. It's just a little metal blade, right? So she had to take the time to do that. This savage had a lot of ill will and ill intent. Who knows who she wanted to hurt? Anyway, people bought their bread. They got home. They got that banana nut bread. It's in the morning time. They waking up. They got jingle bells playing in the background. They got the Christmas tree lights still on that they ain't plugged from the night before. They take their first sip of coffee and they're like, I'm about to get this banana nut bread. Leaking red word that you can't say on YouTube. Yeah, we so crazy in society, we can't even use certain words that mean certain things. Anyway, so it's dripping out your mouth, right? Because you bit the banana nut bread and the banana nut bread had a razor poking up in it. This some penitentiary type stuff. I'm assuming she's a convict. I don't know if she's a savage. Anyway, hopefully they give her a life sentence in Mississippi. That's what I would like to see. Hey, Mississippi, wink, wink, nod, nod. Give this savage life. If we could prove intent that she meant to hurt and harm somebody, we should give her the death sentence. I don't mind her getting the death sentence for intent. Yeah, we got to do something, y'all. Society has lost its ever-loving mind. I have been to that Walmart in Biloxi, Mississippi. When me and my wife vacation there, we go to that Walmart all the time to get our little drinks and little treats so, we don't have to spend money when we go ripping and running at the fairs in Mississippi. But you never know now. You got to. So they recalled the bread. They recalled the banana nut bread. And they recalled the loaves of bread, the fresh baked loaves, because, once again, another savage. Here's the craziest thing about this story is that apparently Mississippi Walmart had received complaints that customers were finding razor blades in the banana nut bread and they did not call the authorities. It wasn't until a customer actually found the razor blade in the bread and they called the authorities. The authorities like, well, where'd you get this bread from? They're like, yeah, the Biloxi Wal-Mart. They're like, all right, cool, let's go over there. When they went to the Biloxi Wal-Mart, they're like, look, we had somebody say that they found a razor blade in that banana nut bread, so we just trying to see what's going on. Can we look at your surveillance videos? And the management and the security team at Walmart's like, oh yeah, we had multiple customers call and complain about razor blades in the bread. And the police are like, y'all didn't think to report that to the authorities? And Walmart's like, nah, happens all the time. You ought to see the one in Pasadena, California. You know what I mean? How many razor blades they find in the bread over there? It's like 50 a day. You know what I mean? And over here in slow Mississippi, we're only finding like 4 or 5 a week. You know what I mean? We didn't think it was too big of a deal to call the authorities. Yeah, right. That's the type of lunacy we're dealing with today. So anyway, this savage is going around ruining people's Christmases. That's right. So when you go to Walmart, you got to bring your welding gloves. That's right. That way, when your wife's heading out the door, she's like, where you going? You're like, where you going? She's like, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to get some of that banana nut bread. And you're like, all right, cool. Look, grab those welding gloves by the key stand and key rack when you grab the keys. And she's like, cool, I got that. She already knows what it's for. She gets to Walmart. When she gets to the bread aisle, she pulls those welding gloves out of her purse. She puts them welding gloves on, and she saw squeezing that bunny bread, right? Oh, it's that soft bunny bread. Ooh, ooh. She's like, let me go a little bit further. Oh, there's that razor blade, but no R word, no word you can't use. It's not leaking. She had her welding gloves on, and she's like, all right, this one's no good. Put that one back on the shelf, because who cares? Nobody needs to know about the razor blade and the bread. Apparently, that's what Walmart security thinks. Anyway, checks the next bunny bread. Oh, no, oh, who's good squeeze soft. This one's really good. Puts it back in the basket, goes to push off, and the person walking up be like, hey, you mind if I use your welding gloves so I can check for my razors too in the banana nut bread? And she's like, yeah, go ahead and take it. This is the crazy stuff we're thinking about. And this is the crazy stories that you get on the Pen and the Shank, the most unusual and unique crime and prison related channel experience on YouTube. That's right. We talk about the stories that nobody else is talking about. You know what I mean? Instead of just taking a little bit of that. Instead of being, you know what I mean, with a little bit of yeah, I'm all wound up and I ain't even had my coffee yet. It's late in the evening. I'm waiting on my Pepsi. Man, listen, we talk about crime and prison related things that other channels aren't talking about necessarily because it's not going to get you a million views. But I believe on the Pen and the Shank, we can grow a community to where we're covering crazy topics and crazy crime and prison stories on a bigger basis that's reaching a bigger audience. And our technology and our whole setup is going to get better, right? So give me a like and subscribe, share, and hit that bell notification so you can find out when I tell you the next crazy story that I found out about, like savages putting razor blades in bread in Walmart. Man, bing, 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 bing. Ah!